To start, add 7 grams of dry yeast or 25 grams of fresh yeast to a bowl. Then pour 200 milliliters of cold milk over everything. Pour cold milk so the yeast doesn't activate. Its activation is needed while kneading the dough. It only needs to activate when we leave the dough to rise. Then, leave it to rest twice as long as you normally would. Mix the yeast well until it dissolves. It's easy with dry yeast, but fresh yeast takes longer. Immediately measure out 700 grams of all-purpose flour. Add 2 tablespoons of sugar. Add 1 tablespoon of salt. Don't worry, it won't be sweet. Mix with a wooden spoon like this. Then pour in 250 milliliters of cold water. And the dissolved yeast. Now mix everything with a wooden spoon. The dough will be softer than you're used to. Now knead it a little. It will start sticking to your hands. Just remove it from your fingers. Add 1 tablespoon of oil. Dip your hands a little, turn it, and continue kneading. It's much easier to knead the dough when you add oil. It doesn't stick to your hands or the ball. And it's very easy to knead. This is a great technique, especially for beginners. I don't mean the cold dough part, but the oil part. Add a little oil and knead. Now a little more again. You'll feel how cold this dough is under your hand. This is a new Japanese technique, where they say the structure is different, and the taste too. Add the rest of the oil, and continue kneading again. You can do all of this in a mixer. They recommend it, but I knead by hand because most of us don't have a mixer. Feel free to take a break if you get tired. When almost all the oil has been absorbed, turn the dough over, cover with a cloth, and let it rest for only 10 minutes, nothing more. After 10 minutes, knead the dough again. Now you'll notice how the dough's structure is different. It's not just, let's say, bumpy anymore. Now it's all nice and smooth. That's because we let it rest for those 10 minutes. And now continue kneading again. We won't knead for long. A little more again. Keep the dough cold, it's very important. You'll feel now under your hand that it's cold enough. Okay, now like this. Before we leave the dough to rise, we need to grease it with a little oil. And now knead a little. This is about enough. Turn it over. A few drops again from above so it doesn't dry out. Grease it well like this. Put a bag over it. It's all because of the air. And then a cloth, and leave it to rest like this for 2 hours. After 2 hours, the dough looks like this. Take it out onto the work surface. Now just knead it here so much that I put these edges in the middle. I'll close them a little more with my hand. And then divide the dough into 14 pieces. I'll then shape each of these pieces of dough into a ball. Try to make all these dough balls the same size. If one is a little bigger, pinch it off and make them all roughly equal. Cover the balls with a cloth. After 5 minutes, take one ball like this and press it in the middle with your palm. And then press this back part. You can just moisten it a little here. And here you press and thin this half. And this half remains thicker, like this. Press in the middle, and then just squeeze this edge so you get a point. Then take a brush and now just oil each of these pieces of dough a little, so it doesn't dry out, because we're going to leave the dough to rest a little now too. Put the plastic wrap first so we don't ruin the cloth, and then put the cloth and leave it to rest for 5 to 10 minutes. During that time, cut a cube of butter into 14 pieces. I have 14 pieces here. This is extra. I used about 220 to 230 grams of butter. The original recipe calls for 300, but I think that's a lot. So this amount. Put one piece of dough in the middle of the table like this. All the rest had to go around. And then stretch it out like this. As thin and as long as possible. Take one of these cubes of butter and transfer the dough over like this. Be sure to close these edges. And now roll it up. This is what that crescent roll looks like in the end. I'll repeat the process. Again, a piece of butter like this. Transfer it over. Close it well. And I'm rolling it up. Similar to our crescent roll recipe. Except we put these cubes of butter on top, and here they are inside. Let them rest for 5 minutes. You can also do this with a spray bottle. After we finish, put the plastic wrap we used over it, and then a cloth, and leave them to rise until they double in size. When our pastries have doubled nicely like this, take a brush and water again, and gently wash each of these pieces. Put coarse sea salt on top. Now, spray each of these crescent rolls a little more over the salt like this. While we're doing this, the oven is heating up to 200 degrees Celsius, and we can take them to bake. Here they are, done. Bake for 10 minutes. Top and bottom heated together with the fan, and then another 6 to 7 minutes without the fan on regular baking. Arrange rolls, grease with water, bake immediately at high heat for a hard crust. And then we reduce the temperature so that they finish baking inside. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like. It should have a hole in the middle like this, and this special texture. Look how nice it is. Enjoy!